Hi students, today we are going to discuss 10th class biology chapter 2 respiration, the energy producing system. Students, food is necessary to all living organisms to survive. Different kinds of organisms having different mode of nutrition. We get energy from the glucose or digested food materials by the action of catabolic reactions in the respiratory system. We do not get energy after immediate digestion of food materials. The digested food moves from digestive system to circulatory system to tissues or cells. Then the food moves into mitochondria and oxidation process takes place, finally produce energy. The term respiration derived from Latin word respire, meaning to breathe. There is a specialized system to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide to the cells from the atmosphere, that is respiratory system. Lungs along with respiratory organs which are involved in respiration process collectively called respiratory system. The term respiration refers to the whole chain processes from the inhalation of air to the use of oxygen in the cells. We can see the pathway of air from nostrils to alveolus. There are two types of respirations. One is external respiration, second one is internal respiration. In the process of external respiration, the oxygen moves from atmosphere to cells and carbon dioxide moves from cells to atmosphere. In the case of internal respiration, the digested food combine with oxygen in the mitochondria and produce energy and carbon dioxide. Let us now discuss about mechanism of respiration. Breathing is a process of inhaling and exhaling. The main respiratory organs are lungs. We can't see our lungs, but it is easily to feel them in the action. Put your hand on chest and breathe in very deeply. You will feel your chest getting slightly bigger. Now breathe out the air and feel your chest returns to its regular size. The lungs themselves can neither draw in air nor push it out. Instead, the chest wall muscles called intercostal muscles and another flexible flattened muscle called diaphragm helps the lungs in moving air into and out of them. Let us discuss about diaphragm and its role in respiration. Diaphragm is a membranous structure present between thoracic chamber and abdomen. When the diaphragm is relaxed, instead when we breathe out, it is in the shape of dome, convex and extended into chest cavity. Phrenic muscles in the diaphragm contracts during inhalation. It flattens out a bit or dome moves downwards. As the result, the volume of the chest cavity is increased. Its internal pressure decreases and the air from the outside enter into lungs. This is inspiration or inhalation. Now let us discuss about ribs with intercostal muscles. The chest wall is made up of ribs, sternum muscles and the skin. The ribs are attached at an angle to the spine. When we inhale, the chest wall moves up and expands. This causes an increase in the volume of chest cavity, and the lungs' internal pressure decreases and the air from outside rushes into the lungs. This is inspiration or inhalation. It means the air moves easily into lungs from atmosphere. In the process of expiration or exhalation, it is quite reverse to the inspiration or inhalation. The chest wall is lowered and moves inward, and the diaphragm relaxes and assumes its dome shape. These changes increase the pressure on the lungs. Then the air squeezes out through the nose to the external atmosphere. This is expiration or exhalation. The rate of respiration is slow when we are at rest. During running, exercise, fearness increases the rate of respiration. Let us discuss about process of gases exchange in respiratory system. The process of gases exchange takes place between alveoli to capillaries and capillaries to cells. Now we will discuss about gases exchange between alveoli to capillaries. Gases exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion from the alveoli to blood capillaries and vice versa. Alveoli are the chief cells in the respiratory system. The tiny air sacs in the lungs are numerous and only one cell thickness. They are surrounded by blood capillaries that are also only one cell thickness. The carbon dioxide in the blood is exchanged for oxygen in the alveoli. The dark red in color blood flows from the heart through these capillaries and collects oxygen from the alveoli. At the same time, the carbon dioxide passes out of the capillaries and enter into alveoli sacs. When we breathe out, we get rid of this carbon dioxide. Now, the bright red oxygen-rich blood is returned to the heart and pumped out to all parts of the body. Now, we will discuss gases exchange between capillaries to cells. We know that tissues are surrounded by blood capillaries. The tissue cells are continuously using oxygen, hence the concentration of oxygen is quite low in them. Now, oxyhemoglobin releases the oxygen that enter into the cells. Now, oxygen combines with glucose in the cells, and after several reactions, it produces energy, water, and carbon dioxide. We know that the released energy is utilized to carry out different kinds of metabolic activities in our body. As a result of gases exchange, the composition of inhaled and exhaled air is different. Let's see the table given below. The table containing gases, percentage of inhaled air, percentage of exhaled air. Gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. The percentage of oxygen in inhaled air is 21 and exhaled air is 16. The percentage of carbon dioxide in inhaled air is 0.03 and exhaled air is 4.4%. There is no change in the percentage of nitrogen inhaled air and exhaled air. Children, answer the following questions by observing above table. The first question is, why does the amount of oxygen vary between exhaled and inhaled air? Because the inhaled air containing oxygen is diffused from alveoli to blood capillaries. The percentage of oxygen in inhaled air is 21% and in exhaled air is 16%. It means 5% of oxygen is diffused from alveoli to blood capillaries. Second question is, what has raised the percentage of carbon dioxide in exhaled air? Because in the inhalation process, the oxygen is diffused from alveoli to capillaries and the equal amount of carbon dioxide diffused from capillaries to alveoli. Hence, exhaled air containing more amount of carbon dioxide. When oxygen present in the air is within normal limits, the inhaled air containing oxygen combine with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. Not only hemoglobin can combine with oxygen, but the reverse can also happen to yield a molecule of hemoglobin and oxygen. Carbon dioxide usually transported as bicarbonates are dissolved in blood plasma and some amount of carbon dioxide combine with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin. By this way, we get rid of this carbon dioxide from our body. Children, small questions to you. Name the process is seen during gases exchange between alveoli to capillaries. Diffusion. The structural and functional units in respiratory system. Alveoli.